right now at 6.
How come there aren't cameras in these areas?
After the death of a college student earlier this year, the city of La Crosse is getting help installing more downtown cameras. And an Onalaska teenager is charged with attempted homicide after allegedly breaking into a home and stabbing another teen.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Amy is off tonight. The La Crosse City Vision Foundation has announced plans to install 5 new security cameras downtown and update 5 additional units. News 8 Now's Rob Romano joins us now with the latest. Rob?
Good evening, Ken. The vice president of the La Crosse City Vision Foundation says off camera that as the organization continues to fundraise, it will pay for the additional cameras. Today's announcement regarding the upgrades comes about 6 months after the death of Hamoud Fall, a UWL student whose body was found in the Mississippi in March after he went missing from downtown La Crosse in February.
I just remember when Hamoud was missing and you're talking to the investigators and his friends and family are talking to the investigators and the police, and oftentimes it would come down to we just don't have the camera footage. We just can't see that area.
Carolyn Knobloch graduated from UWL in 2021. She remembers her late friend, former UWL student Hamoud Fall, whose body was pulled from the Mississippi River in March of this year.
That's one of the questions. Could the outcome have been different? Possibly, and at the very least, I mean, not having this outcome for other people.
On Wednesday, Knobloch spoke at a press conference where the La Crosse City Vision Foundation, a local nonprofit, announced that it's planning to add 5 new security cameras downtown. The organization also plans to update at least 5 more cameras already in use, according to a map shown to reporters.
There's become a public expectation that we have cameras in places where we may not have them. And specifically in the Hamoud Fall incident, the questions were, well, how come there aren't cameras in these areas?
La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds was not present at Wednesday's City Hall announcement, which unveiled plans to install the new cameras. La Crosse Police Chief Sean Coudron says he expects the cameras to make downtown safer.
There's a cost effectiveness to this where it takes less time to gather information when you have more camera views, and that's an improvement for what we're doing as a police department and what we're accomplishing for a safe downtown area.
Meanwhile, Knobloch is still trying to process the death of her friend. She says many questions still remain because of the lack of security camera footage.
There is questions as to why he ended up down there, what exactly happened, and you can't see his exact steps or exactly the route he took.
And since 2013, the La Crosse City Vision Foundation has installed 79 cameras downtown. We've reached out to the city of La Crosse for comment as to why the city hasn't been funding these new cameras, and we're awaiting comment from a spokesperson, because keep in mind they're doing this through a nonprofit. That's how this is being done. Ken, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. To donate to the La Crosse City Vision Foundation, you can head to the organization's website. We'll have the link posted on news8000.com. The City Vision Foundation is also working on a different project at Riverside Park. The foundation is selling granite bricks for their Veterans Memorial. Those bricks can be engraved to honor someone or show your support for veterans. If you're interested in buying a brick, we'll have more information at news8000.com. Let's switch it up, talk some weather with First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean. Eric, feeling like summer out there today.
Oh, most definitely. And if you like today, I think you're going to like tomorrow as well. Take a look at the numbers for today. Made it to 86 in La Crosse. Same story in Black River Falls. Eau Claire, look at that. 88 degrees, very close to the big 90. 81 in Viroqua, 84 was the high in Boscobel, and right now we're seeing temperatures still in the 80s. We've cooled off just a couple of degrees. 85 in La Crosse, as well as Eau Claire, Black River Falls, and Sparta. Good evening to you guys. You're at 83 degrees. 79 is the current temperature in Decorah, 82 in Prairie du Chien and Boscobel. So if you have any plans this evening, we'll see temperatures hovering right around 82 degrees by the 7 o'clock hour. By 9 o'clock, we'll see calm wind, clear skies, 73 degrees. By the time you join us for the news at 10, we'll see temperatures hovering right around 71 degrees. Dean's list for tonight. The temperatures, they're going to flirt with normal. Average high for this time of year, 79 degrees. We have a wet weekend in store, but we're going to talk about highs in the 60s. We'll talk more about that coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Ken, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
You bet.
An Onalaska teenager is charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide and armed burglary. According to the criminal complaint, 17-year-old Austin Bailey appears to have gotten into the victim's home through a window. He then tried strangling the victim, another teenager, while she was asleep, and started stabbing her when she woke up and fought back. She was able to knock the knife out of his hands. Bailey then grabbed the knife and ran. After a short short search, officers found Bailey, who was asking officers to shoot him. Officers shot a less lethal round, hitting Bailey in the leg, and took him into custody. Bailey is in jail on a $50,000 cash bond. A Galesville farmer is dealing with a big loss after a turkey barn caught fire this morning. As you can see, the Galesville Fire Department were able to keep the fire within the shop section of the barn and kept it from spreading to the other ends of the barn that were housing more than 19,000 turkeys. The Galesville Fire Chief says there was smoke damage to both sides of the barn. The cause of the fire is still unknown. A judge in Waukesha sides with Wisconsin Republicans putting tighter restrictions on absentee voting. The Waukesha County Circuit Judge ruled that election clerks cannot fill in missing information on witness certification envelopes containing absentee ballots. The lawsuit stems from Republican-backed lawmakers who say Election Commission guidance from 2016 that allowed clerks to fill in ballot certificates is illegal. Democrats say the practice is legal, and this lawsuit is an attempt to create confusion in the weeks before early voting begins. The case is expected to make it to the conservative-controlled Wisconsin Supreme Court. School may be back in session, but some kids are still missing out on classes. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, 8 million kids nationwide missed 15 or more days of school. That number has now doubled. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke with staff at local elementary schools who say they're working together to make sure kids around the region are making their way back to the classroom. Dua?
Ken, the Attendance Matters campaign is a community-wide effort to reduce chronic absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism is when a child misses 10% of the school year. In one local school district, over 30% of kids were chronically absent last year. For some students, success was hard to achieve during the COVID-19 pandemic.
They're missing out on academics, but they're missing out on other interventions, social emotional learning, friendships.
And it's become more difficult now that schools have returned to in-person learning.
Unfortunately, we have kids who maybe got out of the routine of school, and coming back to school proved to be pretty difficult for some kids.
During the pandemic, chronic absenteeism increased nationwide. Chronic absenteeism is when a student misses 10% or more classes.
That's 2 days a month, and it starts to add up.
In the school district of La Crosse, 32% of students were chronically absent. And it's not the only one.
As the smallest school in the county, I'm glad that we're not forgotten as well.
In the Bangor School District, chronic absenteeism affected 5% of students.
That's the lowest it's been in 5 years, so we did see a decrease last year.
But there are ways to lower those numbers. 5 school districts across the Coulee region are partnering together for the Attendance Matters campaign.
Try to get the message out to all of the families in our communities.
Districts are working with families, health professionals, and educators to address signs of chronic absenteeism early on.
We've tried to do a lot of problem solving ahead of time to hopefully make this school year more successful.
Educators hope the campaign will return kids to school.
I think we're right back on track, and I'm looking forward to a great year and a good year of attendance as well.
And fill the empty seats in a classroom. Educators say some kids missed out on key developmental skills like reading, making friends, and interacting with multiple people. So they're working on making school a welcoming place for kids who may have anxiety about attending in person. And educators say kids who miss school early on are likely to fall behind in middle and high school. Ken?
Thanks a lot, Dua. The school districts of Onalaska, Holmen, and West Salem are also part of this campaign. Still ahead, out of the clinic and onto the streets. With the help of a new van, St. Clair Health Mission is bringing health care directly to people who may need some extra help. And they're not the only ones hitting the road. Mayo Clinic Health System is bringing an MRI machine to a rural community.
Did you know Tim Michaels pledged to cut millions from public schools and give it to private schools instead? His plan would increase property taxes by $500 million. Tim Michaels is too radical and too divisive.
Don't get left in the dark. Save now with 11% off Generac at Menards. Get power, reliability, and peace of mind anywhere with our selection of portable generators, inverters, and whole house generators. They provide reliable electricity for any situation. On the work site, camping, or in the event of a power outage. Get easy-to-use, reliable power anywhere with 11% off all Generac generators and inverters now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome to Wesco. Welcome to huge selection and savings. Creep up on savings all month long with our progressive sale. The more you spend, the more you save. $50 off a $500 purchase. $125 off $1,000. $300 off $2,000. $600 off $3,000. The savings never end on bedding, recliners, dining, and more. Wesco and Sparta, where right glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
Did you know Tim Michaels pledged to cut millions from public schools?
We're already throwing so much money at education.
He'll drain classrooms and gut school funding. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Healthcare is something every person needs, but it's not something everyone can access. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen introduces us to a team that's helping bring care for some who need it most. Good evening, Emily.
Ken, St. Clair Health Mission, a free clinic in La Crosse, works with area health systems to provide care for underserved populations. Now they have a vehicle to carry out their mission. For many in La Crosse, your doctor is just down the street. But for those living on the street,
we recognize there are so many folks on the street that didn't have access to health care.
For the city's homeless population, getting that care is not so simple.
Patients with housing instability, at least in my limited experience, often are falling through the cracks in our society, so those safety nets that we have in place haven't caught them.
St. Clair Health Mission's partnership with local hospitals is helping to meet patients where they are and hopefully lift them up.
Our goal at St. Clair Health Mission is to help stabilize lives.
Courtney Bork is a resident physician at Gunderson. She and other residents take turns working out of the Rotary Mobile Clinic.
It's about being creative with solutions and making sure we're thinking about the patient as a whole.
The clinic hasn't always been an option for patients. The mobile clinic has only been open for 2.5 years, but since then has served hundreds more members of underserved populations. And the van is brand new. Now that it's here,
it feels like we're filling a gap.
Residents are getting closer to the communities they serve.
Our volunteers are learning more and more about this population and what they face.
And it gives these populations the care they deserve. The mobile clinic works with those experiencing homelessness in La Crosse every Wednesday. During the week, it also travels to Arcadia and some farms in the region. Ken?
A nice effort. Thanks, Emily. St. Clair Health Mission's work is funded through community donations, so if you would like to help, we'll post a link to do so at news8000.com. For the first time, a mobile MRI machine is hitting the streets in Prairie du Chien. The mobile unit will help Mayo Clinic Health System patients in the area. The unit has an MRI machine that can do fast scans and produce high-quality images. Health professionals say the new machine will improve the patient experience by bringing health care to a rural community.
It feels really good to save them the time and the stress of having to drive to La Crosse when they can receive the same care here in Prairie.
MRIs help diagnose patients and keep an eye on conditions like tumors, heart disease, and arthritis. The unit is available to patients every Wednesday. Coming up, the city of La Crosse wants to hear from you about its new climate action plan.
And in the world of weather, we have a clean sweep on the radar, but this is going to start getting a workout as we go into the weekend. Details in the First Alert forecast on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Dr. Mehta knows pain.
Oftentimes, I see patients with pain in their knees, their hips, their back, and it's actually coming from their feet.
Her suggestion?
It's as easy as going into a Good Feet store.
Come in for your free arch support fitting.
They're destroying America and our livelihoods. Now, DC elites are spending big on Brad Paff. The same Beltway bigwigs who wasted taxpayer money that bailed out elite golf courses and luxury hotels are now bankrolling Brad Paff's campaign. Because Brad Paff supported their big spending, price hiking, reckless schemes. And that's why we can't send him to Washington. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Perkins Burger, Fries, and Pie combos are back, starting at $10.99. Mix and match any of our 100% Angus beef burgers with fries and a slice of any of our pies. And don't forget to order pumpkin pies and muffins from our bakery. Order online at perkinstogo.com.
Those cool, crisp nights are on their way. Stay warm and cozy with an easy-to-use gas fire table from La Crosse Fireplace Company. Stop in now for the best selection and get 25% off all in-stock fire tables. This is our biggest fire table sale of the year, and quantities are limited. Enjoy your cool evenings outside and save 25% on fire tables at La Crosse Fireplace Company. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is outside by the fire.
Look, we knew the other side would make up lies about me to scare you. Now they're claiming I want to defund the police and abolish ICE. That's a lie. I'll make sure our police have the resources and training they need to keep our community safe. And that our communities have the resources to stop crime before it happens. I'll bring back manufacturing. And I'll pass a middle-class tax cut. And if that's too scary for Washington, then so be it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Attention foodies. With this fusion of prime rib steak, melted provolone, and other magical melty stuff, Arby's is now officially a fusion restaurant. Chef Smooch, Arby's, we have the meat.
Gary knows golf.
You need to have good balance, good support.
Where to find that support?
2 words, The Good Feet Store. How many words is that?
Swing by for your free arch support fitting.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now, our community, your station.
The City of La Crosse wants to hear from you about its new climate action plan. The city released a draft of the plan online. Now it's split into different sections, focusing on things like transportation, housing, and green space. The city's goal is to reduce its carbon footprint, as well as help the city build resilience to the impacts of climate change.
While we are fairly far along in the process, it is a draft, so we're still revising it, fine-tuning it, and again, still looking for community input.
There's an opportunity to talk to the officials who helped put this plan together. Leaders are giving a presentation at the main library tomorrow, starting at 5:30 in the evening. You'll have the opportunity to give feedback at that meeting, as well as ask questions about the plan. It's kind of fitting to be talking about climate change. Of course, we know what's happening on the West Coast, of course. Hotter temperatures in this area as well. Eric, feeling like summer these days.
That's right. Matter of fact, we're still on the tail end of summer. Fall starts September 22nd, and we have this ridge of high pressure that is in control. And you can see this clockwise flow that's in play right now. We'll get on the back end of this as we go into the second half of the work week. Outside right now, we're seeing sunny skies out there. Look at that temperature, 85 degrees. Feels like 86. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 6 miles per hour. River level sitting at 5.09 feet and currently falling. So tomorrow we'll see temperatures going into the 80s across the board. There's La Crosse County from Holman to Shelby down to 80 or up to 85 degrees. Same story towards the La Crescent area. As we take a look here at the southern zone again, same story. We're seeing temperatures in the 80s with sunny skies, making for a beautiful Thursday. Central zone ranging from 81 to 84 degrees depending on your location. La Crosse, you'll make it to 85. And then the northern zone, we're seeing temperatures staying in the 80s as well. So for tonight, maybe a little bit of cloud cover across the area. Otherwise, mostly clear skies. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s. We'll do it all over again for tomorrow. The cloud cover is going to stay well to the north of us. But other than that, a sunny skies to start, a clear Thursday. It's when we get into Friday that things kind of start to pick up a little bit. So we take a look at your first alert forecast for the evening and overnight hours. 65 degrees with mostly clear skies, a nice slight wind out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow we go to 85 degrees. We'll see some patchy fog in the morning hours. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies with winds out of the south at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. The allergy forecast for your Wednesday going into your Thursday. High tomorrow for ragweed, weeds, and mold, going to the medium side as we go into your Thursday. And that rain this weekend will begin the ragweed and pollen season decline. So the balance of your 8-day forecast shows temperatures going into the mid-80s. Let's go ahead and break out tomorrow where we have sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-80s. Keep an eye on this front, though, as it pushes its way through Thursday evening. Going into your Friday, it's going to do two things. We're going to cool off the temperature for the weekend, but we'll increase the rain chances for Friday going into Saturday and Sunday and even early Monday morning. So Friday, there you go, 81 degrees. We'll go ahead and take a look at Sky Tracker and we'll start the clock for Friday afternoon going into the evening hours. If you have plans for Friday night football, make sure you take the rain gear. Here's 7 o'clock from Wausau all the way down to Decorah. That line of rain and even thunderstorms will be in play. It'll push its way out as we go into the evening and your overnight hours. And then Sunday we go to 69 degrees, but some places won't even see that. We're talking upper 50s, low 60s, especially towards Decorah, Preston, over towards Viroqua, where we have highs right around 61, 62 degrees. The outlying areas may see temperatures in the upper 50s. And then we stay in the low to mid 70s for Monday. We have sunny skies for Tuesday. Then rain chances pick up again for Wednesday going into your Thursday. So we need the rain. We have the rain chances in play. We have the cooler temperatures in play, and it's going to feel very fall-like, to say the least.
All right. Thanks a lot, Eric.
You bet.
Coming up next in sports, a former Packers player is sounding off on his former team. Plus, time's running out for the Brewers. Milwaukee looking for the series win today in Colorado. Rob has the highlights next.
CityCam 8 is brought to you by The Board Store. Are new windows in your future? We're a Pro Via Platinum dealer with certified installers. We'll help you find the best style, color, and glass options for your budget.
People that have come to me for financial coaching have told me that they've learned more from me in 10 minutes than they did with their other guy in 10 years. Or they'll tell me, I've never looked at things from that angle before. If you want to learn more about financial management and your future, come see me. I'll do it for free, no invoice. Give the money man a call at Firefighters Credit Union. Let's make things happen.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Because where Culver's comes from, and the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Like most people, I bust my butt day in and day out. I earn every dime of my paycheck. It's the Wisconsin way.
But Governor Tony Evers supports paying welfare benefits to people who won't work, even after they turn down job offers.
That's a disgrace.
That's a disgrace.
It's a slap in the face to hardworking people like us.
Tony Evers should know better.
Tony Evers should know better, but he doesn't.
Tony Evers, our failed liberal governor.
Get ready to shake, rattle, and roll on over to the 25th Annual Elvis Explosion, September 9th, 10th, and 11th, live at the La Crosse Center. Come and witness over 40 tribute artists battle it out for over $25,000 in cash and prizes. Tickets are available at the box office, Ticketmaster.com, or days of shows. That's the Elvis Explosion, September 9th, 10th, and 11th at the La Crosse Center. And I'll see you there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
After another tough loss last night in Colorado, the Brewers are simply running out of time. Coming into today, Milwaukee sits 8.5 behind St. Louis in the NL Central, 3 behind the Padres for the third wild card spot. So the Brewers needing every win that they could get down the stretch. Series finale today in Denver. The Rockies playing spoiler in the second. Alan Trejo crushes one in the left center. 2-run blast puts Colorado up 4, and it just gets worse in the third. 2 on for Michael Toglia. This ball's not coming back. He gets all this one, almost past the seats and left. 3-run shot makes it 7-0 Rockies. Brewers trying to fight back, though, in the ninth. They're down 6, but Andrew McCutchen gets them 1 closer. He crushes his 15th of the year. Solo shot for Kutch. Cuts the deficit to 5. It's 8-3. 3 batters later, Luis Arias. He's going to chip in with this blast to left field, his 15th of the year. Cuts it to 4, but too little, too late for the Crew. Brewers drop 2 out of 3 in Colorado. They lose this one 8-4. They'll be back home tomorrow for a doubleheader against San Francisco. Doubleheader in the Bronx for the Twins. Good start in Game 1. Jose Miranda, deep drive to left. If it's fair, it's gone, and that ball's fair. 2-run shot makes it 2-0 Twins. But in the 6th, Gleyber Torres with a man on, and he's going to tie the game. Torres crushes it to left. 2-run blast, ties this one up at 3. Let's go to extras in the 12th. Still 3-3, but not anymore. Gilberto Celestino at the dish. He's going to go the other way down the right field line. Twins take the lead 4-3, but bottom 12, Yankees score a pair, capped off by this walk-off from Oswaldo Cabrera. Yankees walk it off in Game 1 by a final of 5-4. Week 1 for the Packers is only 4 days away, and a former member of the Green and Gold says he signed with the Vikings so he could play the Packers twice a year. In an interview with GoLongTV.com, Zadarius Smith says he was treated bad by Green Bay. Today, Coach Matt LaFleur simply could not corroborate those statements.
I respect the crap out of Z as a player. He busted his butt, did a lot of great things. I think we may have a different perspective of how things transpired. So I'll just leave it at that.
The role that he played was a big brother role. Just in terms of, I reach out to him for information, things for the football field, but in terms of his experience, I really can't speak to it.
Vikings-Packers, Sunday division rivalry, week 1. It doesn't get too much better than this, Ken. This game was already, the game of the week. It is
yes,
the game of the week.
For sure.
And, now all these little storylines that keep coming out, it's just getting better and better.
Well, even when he signed and in training camp, he kind of hinted that he was really looking forward to playing the Packers.
Yeah.
But you can definitely guarantee that there are two sides to this.
Sure.
But it was really telling last year when Zadarius, he had been a captain before, was not named a captain prior to getting injured.
That was
so
kind of the start.
It's kind of the writing on the wall a little bit, for
Yep.
sure. But it'll be a great game.
I can't wait.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
You got it.
More news after the break.
Connect with us on Twitter at News8News. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse. Barnes would eliminate cash bail even after the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, supports amnesty and sanctuary cities for illegals, and had worked for a radical group that wants to defund the police. Barnes has a long record of smearing police while spending your tax dollars on security for himself. Mandela Barnes, wrong on crime, dangerous for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. We go all in on quality, all in on craft. And on the Triple Pep Pizza, we go all in on pepperoni. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with a limited-time Triple Pep Pizza, topped with 3 types of pepperoni for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Derek Van Orden, former U.S. Navy SEAL. Over 20 years of active duty, defending America in hostile territory. 5 combat tours, hundreds of missions, sea, air, and land. Now, he's on the most important no-fail mission of his life.
Saving America for my grandchildren and yours.
Grandpa, we're just going to the park.
Yes, we are. You guys ready? Derek Van Orden and I approve this mission and this message.
All right, here's a look at the 8-day. We have temperatures in the low to mid 80s tomorrow. Tomorrow, until we get into Tuesday, that'll be the last sunny day, but we have temperatures in 60s and 70s this weekend.
It's a little bit of summer and then kind of more into fall.
Right, where we should be anyway.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. See you at 10.